What's up, guys? Coach Darrell back from castironworkouts.com, and I've got Mikey with me here again today.
Hello, everybody.
Today we are going to talk to you about me writing a book.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, how? How did that happen? I can hardly write my name.
Yeah, we're not going to talk about the book. We're going to talk about the how.
Yeah, so I wrote a book. If you guys didn't know that, I wrote a book called Whatever It Takes. It's a collection of interviews from health, strength, and sport. I released this about 2 months ago. It's almost exactly 2 months ago. It's at the very end of May. This is something I've been working on for 2 years, a little over 2 years. It's been a long process, to say the least.
So why'd you do it?
So it was just a cool idea I thought that I had. And it started, it was 2 years ago, so almost 2.5 years ago. It was 2 years ago from February. So we were headed up to my sister's house. My sister lives up, way up Northern California, up Lake Shasta. And we were driving up there and spent a weekend up there. And I was actually thinking about a book by the author Tim Ferriss. I don't know, you know Timothy Ferriss. He wrote a book called Tribe of Mentors, where he interviewed like a bunch of high-level executives and people from different areas of just high-performing people. And I'd read that. I thought it was a super cool book, you know. And I'm driving and I'm talking and my wife's with me, kids kind of knocked out, zoning out in the back seat, and we just kind of start talking. I said, you know, it would be really cool is if somebody did that, like with athletes, right? And specifically ask questions, you know, kind of the same set of questions for athletes as to, you know, what their training's like, what, you know, like what they did growing up, like what their mindset is on things, you know, what they've done nutritionally, like, you know, their coaching, their workouts, what are some of the hardest things they've ever done. And it just kind of started, my mind starts going, and I'm going, oh, that'd be pretty cool. And so luckily I have Tara with me, and I go, hey, I go, hey, would you mind like taking notes? And like, I'd need to, you know, talk this out a little bit. She's like, what are you thinking? I said, well, what if I wrote the book? And she looked at me and she goes, you can't read a book. How are you going to write a book? No, and so luckily, you know, she started kind of taking notes, putting notes in her phone about, you know, questions like that I'd want to ask, right? Like, and I use the same questions for every interview throughout this. So, you know, it's 10 questions, and I asked a bunch of different things. And so from there, it's like, well, who would you interview?
Well, that's what I was going to ask. When you started thinking about it, you said athletes. Was this just like sports athletes when you initially thought of it, or just workout athletes?
Athletes, no, like sports and coaches, and you know, like not just. I didn't just go, okay, I want NFL football players.
Okay.
Right? I don't want MLB baseball players, or you know, I wanted some of those for sure. But like my head went to like different people that I respect in the fitness community too, lifters and things like that. Like my first one was Jim Wendler, right? Like Jim Wendler, who created the 5-3-1 training program. That was the one, like, I just respect him. I like his take on training, on coaching, his mentality, you know, mindset. He's just always somebody that I've kind of admired. And I said, oh, dude, that'd be so cool to interview Jim Wendler. And, you know, so he was that kind of first one that I had put on the list, right? And then, you know, it was like, I mean, I'm throwing out random, like people who are not in the book, that I was like, oh, Joe Montana was my favorite football player as a kid. I'm going to try and get Joe Montana, you know, I mean, and stuff like that. And from there it was, I started really breaking down sport by sport and researching, like, hey, who's the top 5 athletes in swimming? Or, you know, I'm just throwing sports out that I don't know real well. And yeah, so the list was built, and just I ended up going through, like, you know, I used the notes thing on my phone, and there was like 5 different notes of just lists of people that I said, oh, would I want to interview this person, or what I want to.
Notice I didn't get a call.
My bad. That's version 2.0.
2.9.
Yeah, no, the next round, Mike, I promise.
But then you expanded it to, I mean, Navy SEAL was the first thing that popped in my head, and I thought that was really cool.
Right.
So just elite athletic performers.
Yeah, high performers,
and,
like within fitness, right? And,
yeah.
and it's coaches too. Like I've got a couple coaches in the book. I've got a nutrition coach who I really respect that's in the book. I've got the U.S. Olympic weightlifting coach, you know, that for 3 different Olympics, he's in there. You know, anyways, there's everybody who's kind of been at a higher elite level, you know, or people that are right there about to break through to that level.
Mm-hmm.
So, and it's, you know, we've got 30 plus different sports covered.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's pretty cool. And when I say 30 plus sports, I'm talking about like within like track and field. I've got a bunch of different ones, right? Like you've got like a shot putter. I've got somebody who's a distance runner. I've got somebody who's a sprinter. I've got somebody who's a triple jumper. You know, all these different things. Yeah, man, we cover quite a bit, and it's cool. I mean, for me, it was cool to see, you know, like all these people that are high performers, and they come from all these different backgrounds. You know, you've got women, you've got men, you've got this sport, that sport, and the varying things that they have going on, but all the commonalities too.
I was going to ask that. Did you find more things in common with their answers or more contrasting?
Yeah, more commonalities than anything, right? More things that they had in common than anything, man. And it was more, and you know, like I definitely want you guys to go out and buy the book and read the book and whatever, but you know, I'll let you guys in it. A lot of it's the way they approach things from like a mindset thing. You know, it's training for everybody's going to be different. You know, sport to sport, and even within a sport, like the way one person trains and the way next person trains could be completely different. But it's the way that people approach things mentally was kind of the coolest part to see. Is like, you know, everybody kind of talks about, you know, you've got to put in the work. And I'm like, what? And it's that, like, you know. Yeah, that's kind of it. It's no matter what, you are going to put forth the work that you need to reach your goal. So that's pretty cool. Pretty cool to see. Yeah. So the people that I was able to interview. First off, let me say thank you. If you know, hopefully these people will get to see this at some point. You know, because those people were cool enough to take time to give a guy that they had never met before. You know, I actually, a couple of these people, I'll take that back. A few of these people I knew prior to, but you know, even the people that I knew prior to, I'm beyond thankful and grateful that they took the time to do this. You know, because I know everybody's got busy schedules, especially high performers, right? They're constantly on the go. They're doing stuff, and you know, I really do appreciate it, and it means a lot. You know, it took a lot to get a hold of some of these people. Believe it or not, like I was able to reach a majority of them through social media.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, and it was cool. Like I said, reaching out to people, like, and not, you know. At first I'm going, oh my gosh, I'm gonna get a response from everybody. You know, you're hopeful and whatever, and then, you know, you start to realize, well, how many of these people got 500,000 followers on social media, and you get some random dude like, hey, you want to can I interview you for a book? And how many of these are being read and whatever? And then, you know, getting the responses was cool, right? And getting the people to go, yeah, I'll do it. And then, like, the coolest part for me, like I said, was reading responses. Right, and like
it's like opening a Christmas gift.
Dude, like, and it was like one of those things, like, you know, because I was sending interviews out, and most of it was done like through email, right? And a couple people I did get to interview directly, right, which was really cool. But for most of them, it was all done through email, because then it could be done on their time, right? We didn't have like hey, you have half an hour today to sit down and do this, and so it was like I would open up email, and I'm like, oh my god, I got a response from this person, and it's like. I was like a little kid on Christmas, getting to open up that present and see, you know, like what was there, and you know their answers to things. So that's pretty neat. It's pretty neat. What else can I tell you guys about the book?
Did you get, you're reading some of this stuff, and I imagine, looking up to a lot of these people and seeing things in them that you admire. Did you get to take a lot personally and apply it, from their answers?
Yes. And it wasn't, the training stuff, it wasn't about like the hard workouts or anything like that, but it made me realize, like I said, it was more the mindset. It made me realize that the way I thought of things was, in some areas I was like, okay, I'm on to something with what I'm doing, right? And I've got my head in the right place. And then other areas it was like, all right, maybe you need to widen your vision a little bit more, and open yourself up to more ideas here. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. And it's man, it was cool to see, and I don't know, and where you make the comparison, with yourself to high level athletes, and you go, man, that's what I'm missing here, or this is this little thing that I could add in here, but I think the big thing, like I said, was a lot of what I learned was these people who are trying to perform at a high level, they don't have the fixed mindset. They have that growth mindset of they're going to try things and do things, and when they do them, they're going to do them consistently, and they're not going to be afraid to fail to make things work, right? And that was something like, okay, cool, because that's for me. Like, I always approach things like mindset was of like being younger. It was like I was afraid to fail, right? And I was afraid to screw up.
Stay comfy.
Yeah, kind of, and it's in some aspects for sure, and that's a hard thing to do, is get uncomfortable, right? So, yeah, man, it was definitely, it was a cool experience though. Like I said, with every single person that is in this book, like I respect, like for where they are, what they've done, the commitment they've put into what they do. So it was, like I said, it beyond cool for me to see all this stuff coming back, right? And being able to put it on paper and put it out there to everybody, and it like I said, it's kind of like, it's almost like you're peeling back that curtain, right? To see what those top level people are kind of doing. So it was pretty cool. It's pretty cool. Yeah. What else can I tell you guys about this without, giving away the book here? You know what I mean? Like I said, it's something cool. I kind of at the end of the book, I take myself through
questions.
Yeah, through the questions, I answer the questions for everybody, so you can kind of see my thought on things and how I approach things, and that was kind of fun. That was kind of fun. Something I definitely want to say too. I talked about it in the beginning of where this idea came up and how I started putting it out there, and having Tara taking notes and all that good stuff. I cannot thank her enough, because this would not have happened without her. She's the one who, if you've ever seen me type, one finger at a time, I'm not the one who typed this, and I'm very lucky to have a wife who is a pretty good editor as well, and helped me format the book and get it all up. And she put a lot of time into this also, and a lot of effort. And if you're watching, thank you. Okay, I know I've said it a bunch, but I seriously, I can't thank her enough for all the work that she put into it. Because it took a long time, man. It took a
How long?
Couple of years.
Yeah,
a couple of years. That was, like I said, it was one of the, with the shutdown, the shelter in place, that was one of the things where it's like, okay, I guess I can do this now.
Yeah.
I guess I can finish this now. And it was kind of that push to get things done and get it out there, and so it's pretty cool, man. Pretty cool. What else? You got any other questions for me, sir?
I don't know. I mean, I have my copy.
Yeah.
I didn't read all of it, but I read a good amount. It's really cool. I love the different frames of reference. I mean, you could just visualize people. You know, they're sitting there, and it's like me reading this. I actually visualize these people focused on what they do, and still being able to communicate with you. You know what I'm saying? Like if you were to sit, you know, sitting on one of these boxes and you're getting your wrist straps and you're about to do a lift, you could talk to me, you know, while you're about to go do a heavy lift. And that's kind of how I picture all of them in each of their,
right.
You know,
right.
Like that's how focused it just comes across. And not just, I would say, athletes, but probably in that other book that inspired you.
Yeah,
you know?
For sure.
So those types of leaders, I think, and successful people are always focused, it seems, you know.
Yeah.
And they can, you know, share while still being committed 100%. And I think that's really intense. And it goes along with why they're successful.
Oh, for sure, man. For sure. And it's that approach to things of, like you said, that 100% focus, right? And it's being able to, in a world of multitasking, being able to monotask.
Exactly.
Right? And it's a hard thing. And I know for me it is, you know, but yeah, these people, it's pretty cool, man. Anyways.
So get it on Amazon.
Yeah, check it out on Amazon.
Links on the website.
Yeah, links on our website for castironworkouts.com. It's, you know, you could just go on Amazon and search Darrell Lutz book, whatever it takes, you know, many ways to find it. It's pretty cool, guys. I hope you guys enjoy it. If you guys got any questions about it, if there's any questions or anything that we can help you guys with get better today, let me know. You can reach out to us at castironworkouts@gmail.com. You can comment on a post. You can send us a direct message, you know, and we're going to answer whatever you got. Well, we're going to try to.
Yeah. So follow us, subscribe, find us on social media platforms, Facebook, Instagram. Let us know what you think.
Yeah, for sure. Mikey, thanks, man. Appreciate it. A good day. Check out the book, guys. Hopefully we'll see you guys soon.